reaching for the sky. Now I'm spinning hope apart. You'll never let go. This love is wild, wild. This love is wild, wild. This love is wild, wild.
I thought about this for a long time when we started it, and I really didn't want to share my story because it brought back memories. And then the more I thought about it, the more I realized I had to bring these memories out and deal with them. And some of these memories, my wife for 48 years didn't even know. And I actually sat down and talked with her yesterday. But my story starts as a very young child. And as a young child, I was abused by a family member. And I have never told nobody that. It's hard to talk about. Along with that, I guess the thing about it, I didn't know it wasn't right, it wasn't wrong. I mean, that was just life. And I grew up with an alcoholic father. I always felt he loved me, but I never knew it. My mama, she cared and loved me. That part of my life she never knew nothing about. And then I guess I was about the first grade. I went to a Tranquil Methodist church. My mama would take us and my aunt would bring us home. And that's when I first started hearing about Jesus. And I thought it was neat. I didn't know what it meant to be saved. And I never seen my mama go to church, or even my grandparents, because she was always helping them on Sunday. But she did make sure we got there. Growing up, I had nightmares. I was scared of dying. I didn't know why. I guess a young child, you see death in family, but it scared me, and I would wake up crying. One time I had a dream, and this I think how God talks to you, and I didn't realize it at the time. I had a dream that when I become 12, I would live forever. I wasn't gonna die. And it didn't make sense, but I sort of forgot about that. You got older, and I got invited to Vacation Bible School at Mount Rye when I was 12. And that's the first time in my life I really learned about Jesus. And I accepted Christ when I was 12. And the feeling I had, I want to tell everybody, that I was saved. My cousin that moved in above me, the first neighbors I had, one growing up, but he probably got tired of me talking about it. Because I was saved, and probably years later it dawned on me. God probably talked to me and said He knew what was going to happen. When I was saved, I was going to live forever. And as I grew teenager and I met my wife in high school, we got married, still in high school, but when I shipped off boot camp, the world sort of comes into your life, and the church sort of disappeared. Really didn't intend it to happen that way. It just did. When I got back home, it was easy to sleep late. You worked all week, then get up and go to church. And one day my wife told me, I said, her daddy's gonna take our kids to church. she started going, and it's really dawned on me. I wasn't being a very good daddy. I was letting my wife and my father-in-law take my kids to church. And I started coming back, rededicate my life, and I really wasn't worried, what I was going to do with my life. And around 1993, I just felt like God calling me to do something. I didn't know what. I just felt like I need to go on a mission trip. I didn't know nobody that was doing that. Association wasn't really involved. I didn't know nobody at the association to get involved. I had to do something. And I found a friend, he was a Methodist pastor, and I talked to him and wanted to know if I could go with him on a foreign mission trip. And that next year I went, and my life has not been the same since. I thought I was going to go do something for people, to help people, but God changes you when you start giving of yourself. And I've been doing foreign missions since '93 now. I found out God's gonna open doors for you, and you gotta walk through them doors and not really look back. So many times you want to think, well, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, but you answer the call from God to go, all that's going to be took care of. It always has. And that's a challenge I give anybody listening to this. Sit back and listen to God. Don't worry about the cost when He opens doors for you. You need to walk through them, and your life will never be the same.